it's just not enough. And you've got to deal with so much passer on a day-to-day basis, you know, about I'm from Brixton, I'm from Peckham, I'm from this one, and you knew that one, and you hit that one back in the day, but he knew that one, and blah, blah, blah. It's a very small little great or wide world that you can find out who's who, and you're going to get found out. If you're going to go to them places, you're going to have to be prepared to lie down that block one day or go back to your cell, and you're going to be upset that you're not who you thought you was, and it's not what you thought it was, because you're going to be in there for years and years and years. No one remembers you. I call people's names, you know him, yeah, what about him? I was there with him. They go, who's that? No one remembers in the end, and that's going to be the key factor. So you've got to know in yourself that I'm telling you, it's a wasted journey. I see a man get his throat cut, and he was a bad man.
Yeah.
I used to fear him. I see, obviously, the hot fat.
Was he dead from that when he got that throat cut?
No. I see 3 men die. 1 in Wayland, 1 in Parkhurst, and 1 in Swellside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a man come back from home leave and hang himself. That I was talking to. I see loads down. The hot water and the fat is a regular thing.
Yeah.
Regular thing. I remember the first one I ever saw, funny enough, was when I was a kid. After Ellesbury, a man from Brixton called Michael Flowers. And they threw it all over him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was way back. That was before that I thought that I was bad.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But you know, so I see that from way back, and you know, it's a bad way of doing stuff and very cowardly, really.
Yeah. And when these things happen to these people, do you see a change in them? Do they see now, listen, I better be humble, I better know myself? Or do they still go on like they're the baddest?
No, some. It's like when I lost my first fight ever in prison as a youth. I was down a block, but I only had a black eye and something else, and I was crying.
Yeah.
And it was, I didn't even lose. It was like a draw, but I was carrying feeling, thinking, oh look, and then you learn from that, like being rushed in the early days when I got sales. I thought, yeah, I ain't leaving my weapon ever again, and that. But I've seen loads of bad things, and some of them bad men there, they get it because they're going in too hard.
Yeah.
And the harder they come, the harder they fall. You're depending on being too wicked. And a man knows then how wicked you are already. He knows he's got to come wickeder. You can't win that one there, Darren, because there's much more smarter people than just being wicked.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some people might not be wicked like that, but they can make themselves wicked.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And then cat A's are full of surprises. Some people quiet and they don't say a word, and on the big day they're there.
They just hit you with
Yeah.
On the other side of things, so that these youths know, listen, it's not even one way.
No.
Let them know, what's the worst thing you've ever seen the screws do to someone? Because remember, if they ain't going to get touched by the people in there, they might get a touch from the screws. What's the worst thing you ever saw the screws do to someone who thought they was bad?
Yeah, I can't say I witnessed it, but I heard it.
Yeah.
They broke every bone in his body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mashed him up completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't scream.
Nah. He said he held it.
He held it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and he spoke to me about 2 weeks later. You know, like that.
And what did he say?
He goes, "You cool, Yammy?" And I said, "Boy, colour, what?" I said, "You're still there?" He goes, "I've been here all that time. I just couldn't move that bit, this bit, that bit, and that bit." Yeah, I see worse. I see a screw get the fat thrown over him as well. Yeah, I see a man get burnt for that. Yeah, I see a screw get stabbed in front of my eyes. Yeah, you don't get away all the time either.
Nah.
And
what was the outcome with the screw that got the fat? Was he come back to work, or is that him done?
Nah, that's him done.
Yeah.
I've known of them commit suicide too. I mean, at the end of the day, right, Darren, I look at it, if you want to be the whole package, right, and some men are out here talking that, but I could honestly tell you that I've been places with certain men that you never even turned up.
Yeah.
Like, you go down a block, but you can't go on the wing. You're not going to face the music anyway, you're dodging, if anything. And a lot of men, like, I think, well, what are you scared of? You're scared of what you did to everybody that can happen to you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think to myself, I base it on realness.
Yeah.
that, you know, every human being's not ready on every single day.
Yeah.
But that's why I tell you, it takes a lot of heart and soul and brain. It's not just easy. It is easy to run up on someone and do a hectic one.
Yeah.
But whether you actually do it right and do it with real meaning,
yeah,
and not get anything yourself, because if you've got a head start, nothing's meant to reach you.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they say about all the great fighters. If he lands one, you're not meant to be around, really. I grew up with no parenting properly, and I got taken away early, and the love, the loss, the rejection, and the sadness, and not caring, never wanting to live, and it gets deep. You go home and there's only mum there, and she drinks, and different man coming around the house. All them things, no father figures. It really does matter, and I feel for you. And you're looking at him because he's up there and he's doing his stuff and he's wearing this and wearing it. It's not that important, honestly. The important thing is to ask yourself, where do I want to be in 10, 15, 20 years time? What is it I don't know? Because you know about the streets. You know what the outcomes are going to be when you're going to fall out with this one and that one. So when you go to prison, you're going to turn up one day and they're going to, all of them lot that you worried about are all going to be there from the same end. And what you're going to do? You're going to turn up. All right, I've seen some of you turn up. But again, what does it achieve? Where does it leave you in the grand scheme of things? So out here, you have to watch over your back, and when you reach jail, you can't live in peace either. So you tell me, honestly, for all the beefs that we've all had over the years, tell me, because I still go to bed, and that hot fat thing was in early 90s, and there's amongst other things, food and taking, I still lie there at night thinking, boy, I wish I wouldn't have done that. And you never live in peace because those issues haven't been addressed. You can't live in peace. When you've been involved in serious stuff, you've got to lie down and you've got to live with it. That's the other side of it as well. And as the years go by, no relationships like me, don't know what the concept of relationships. Before I met my missus, she was saying stuff to me that was normal that I thought was abnormal on the amount of time I've spent in custody and the way that I give my answers. Not domesticated, don't know what my duties are. But you get ready, because I was in High Point a couple of years ago, and there was all gangs from all sides, and I was keeping up my nonsense with all the kids as well. And secretly, between me and you lot, a lot of them, there's a few bad ones, but they still come to me and say, oh, yeah, will you come out there for me? And you go out there with them, and it puts people off a little bit. But I'm telling you, it's the fear factor. If they say they're not scared and they're not worried, they lie. Because where they're looking at their curtain to see who's coming in every day, that shows that you're worried. Because you're expecting people, because you cannot rest. And if you can't rest the spirit, everything runs wild. Your reactions, your emotions. You can't even lie on the bed and read a book properly.
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful. You've got to come out of this long before I did. Because not many people do that amount of years and take all that pressure and die near the end and paralysed and crippled. You need energy and you need spirit, and you've got to accept when you're wrong. But this game has no longevity, and I've got to tell you that. So before you reach doing 5, 10 years, 15, 20 years, the best thing to do is, if you're going to cut a change and then bop and come out of it. Or the best thing, even better than that, don't even do it, because you're going to see in the end. You're going to come out one day and there's going to be no one left. Everyone that you fought with somebody and this and that and everything, there's going to be no one. You're going to feel that loneliness and emptiness that I felt before I found God, because I solved my puzzle. I knew that my energy was different and it was misplaced through drugs and bad places and people and, liking the wrong role models and blah, blah, blah. But you need to find that earlier than me, because as time goes by and it's hard to get back. You walk about, it's only because I'm a free spirit, and I've always, even when I was dying there, I knew that it didn't deter me. I knew that it was down to me to get back up. but be scared. There's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with being humble. There's nothing wrong with taking care of your mum and your auntie and your granny and going to work and bringing money back and helping the house, because that's more of the man thing to do. You know, and they prefer to have you there, not to be in your coffins at 16 and 17 where your mum's going to be crying her eyes out forever, and your families and that you didn't get to spend. You know, I feel for you lot who don't even get the chance to live long these days. It's very, very sad and very serious, because we got to live through our stuff, but there's no way in this stone age that you could do so much badness and not pick up one or two or catch a big sentence.
What it is now, there's a lot of bad boys out here on the road that are going to come into jail. They're going to be mixing with people that have been in there for years, that are bad. They ain't got nothing to lose.
And sour grapes, and they're bitter and twisted. They've been away too long now.
So when these young youths come in now and they know that they're not bad, what sort of violations are they going to be looking at?
Oh, you're going to be at the cooker, and the first day you're there, if you don't know no one, a man's going to say, yo, excuse up, no man, and push you out the way a little bit to see if you answer back. There's going to be all that, and once you don't show yourself to be too bad, or you look like you haven't got anybody, those ones there that have been there for years, they need people to bully. They need to feel better about themselves. They like violating people, so their story goes on. So it'd be very hard for you if you're going there on your own and you ain't got nobody there, or even if you know somebody's there. It's very, very hard for you. I've seen young ones go there and they think it's the road thing and whatever, and they get absolutely annihilated. You're going outside hospital. It don't matter how brave you are, and that there's always a better man, you know that, and there's people that know more physically and with weapons than you do, and it'll be very, very difficult for you, and you'll have to come back from that, because even if you go to Whitemore, you get done there, then you go to Full Sutton, he's going to tell his mate down there, there's that boy there down there, so everywhere you go after that, so you've got to be prepared to put work in, and that's mentally and emotionally draining as well. You've got to be up for it, but the best thing that I can tell you is don't go there, because if you think you like it, and you think, because how many of you have suffered painful hurt and violation yet? You know, do you know what that feels like? You know, I can tell you, I know, we're not violated, but I know when it hasn't worked out for me, how sad it can feel, because in the Cat A's are full of big egos. They're guys that, you know, they're rolling on until the end of time with their same mindset, with the same thing, with all their experiences, and you've got to be able to match that, and it's too early for you, and there's no guarantee that you can come through at the other end like some of these guys, you know?
Okay, let's get on to 2011. You're back on road.
Oh God.
And you've bumped into Ali Rowe.
Ali Rowe now. Oh yeah, that I forgot.
Now that situation has got you right back in jail. What? They've assumed that something's happened between you that hasn't.
Right, now let me make this clear now, so that everybody knows, the brothers and everything. Right, I believed in God, and for 9 months I was clean in Long Lartin, or 6-7 months, and I was doing my 5 prayers a day. I loved the brothers, they was true, and they were a new bunch, and you know, the genuine ones are proper on their stuff, and I've got to respect that. And I joined. Basically, a lot of people were joining and using it as a chess move. I genuinely like God. Now, Long Lartin, that Mr. Bircham and that other little Wally went and told the Home Office and that I'm coming out with a rucksack on and I'm going to blow up, blah, blah, blah. Right? Because I went round when I was smoking one day to them, yeah, you watch, I'm going to chuck it and all that, rah. Well, they were trying to get me back because they said I started converting all the white people in Long Lartin, you know, and other races as well, and they were trying to get me back. So when I got released from the Cat A's, I went to a local for a few weeks. The Home Office were waiting outside the gate for me, saying they want to do a life history on me because of my childhood and everything, that I fit the criteria that if you say I love you, Yammy, or I'll give you this and that, Yammy, you'll throw it for me. Basically, that's it. So you've got me off as one of those press buttons, basically, which is not a nice feeling, to be honest. But Darren, the funny one was, I come out not religious, you know, not religious to that extent, and that, you know, I love the brothers, and I was at the Young Vic Theatre, It was the biggest night of my life. I was in a musical, I was playing a singing prison officer. I'd done 6 weeks rehearsals, and on my lunch break, I'm outside, and who's walking by, looking like he's out of the Miami Vice? Ali Rowe, right? He's got his jeans on. I'm thinking, hold on a minute, I'm expecting him to have his camise on. No, he didn't. He's walking towards me. Yammy, Musa. Yes, brother, everything cool? I said, listen, I'm not really on that out here now. He said to me, he said, oh, everyone says that when you first come to the Dean and blah, blah, blah. I accepted that, and obviously he's right and whatnot. And I said to him, have you got a phone? He said he doesn't use a phone. I said, are you off license? He said, yeah. I said, I'm at the theatre. The 5-night thing's coming soon. You can come and watch me if you want, but really I was looking to the left and right because I was para, because I know what the authorities were thinking from 2009 with the Long Lartin thing, and he's high-ranked Ali Rowe. And there's not nothing you don't know, Ali, anyway, because you remember I told you when I saw you on the high road the other day. And yeah, I looked around, it was my lunch break, and then I left it. I went to probation 5 days later on the night of the show, and she says to me, is there anything you need to tell me? I said, I'm straight, I'm doing my stuff, you know what I'm doing, I've got a play to do tonight, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, yeah, this is really important. I said, what are you talking about? I ain't met nobody. Ain't got to, because obviously they've taken a picture following him, asking who I am. That nutter from Long Lartin, yeah, it's probably that. See, we were right. He's gone to meet him. Screaming, Darren. Gone back to the hostel, having a shave, right? Getting ready, the first night of the show, right? Really up for this. And knock on the door in the hostel. About 10 policemen there. I said, nah, mate. I said, you want the geezer next door?
Yeah.
You're definitely not looking for me, right? Because I was clean and I was strong and everything.
Yeah.
And I looked at him, this is him, nah, you, Samson? I said, yeah. He goes, no, the Ministry of Justice has taken away your licence. And that's when I met my nephew, Nick Curry.
Yeah.
And I was there, he saw me come in on that one there. And I've gone to him, no. But you know what, Darren, I didn't fear. I took off my top, I said to them all, I said, listen, you're going to pack all these bags in this room, my TV and everything, you're going to bring it to the police station, otherwise I'm not going.
Yeah.
And I was really serious when I get like that. And I said, they look so worried. I said to them, listen, if you all want to have it, we're all going to have it now. And I don't care because you're messing up my night and you're not even telling me what I've been recalled for.
Yeah.
So I was going bonkers inside. They packed all the stuff, put it in the SPG, drove me to Highbury in Islington. I could not believe it. Up to the time I went back to prison, they couldn't tell me what they recalled me for.
Yeah.
I phoned the drama teacher, she was crying. I phoned her, I said, listen, I won't be making it tonight. She says, oh, Samson, what have you done? I said, I ain't done nothing. And after 9 months of the second recall of that 12, 13, which I'd done it all really, before I'd done all that last 8 as well.
Yeah.
Now, she looked at me, I went on the board, this is the judge to me, what are you going to do if you ever bump into anyone from the Cat A's again, like who's on the Islam thing and blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, you want me to say that I'll tell my probation that I bumped into? She goes, yes, you can go.
Yeah.
Straight out the door. Nothing else. Nothing else. So all the time I'm saying I'm in here for this, I'm in here for that. No one was listening to me.
Yeah.
Again. And I already knew, and she said that. But that just shows you again what they really think of me. Like I was thinking before I got the 8 that it was robbery squad and burglary squad waiting outside my house. It was the spooks. Yeah. Darren.
Because but how do you feel that they put that label on you? Like
with me, obviously, with everything that's happened now, and I'm going to be a good Christian and whatnot, and getting baptised very shortly once all the sadness has come away from the world at the moment. I feel like you do whatever you do, but I know you're all carrying feeling.
Yeah.
Because I was a good ducker and diver. You're all screaming, inmates and staff alike, because you couldn't outthink me because you know that I was institutionalised and you knew that I knew what you was all doing. So you're just trying to make my life difficult for me, but now it wouldn't matter because I'm not involved in anything anyway. Yeah. So it's not nice to be labelled that you might be you could be involved in this and could be involved in that, but what does it really mean? Yeah. Darren?
Okay, so 2012, you're back on road.
Yeah.
You've just about had a time to say hello to a couple of people and you're back in a cage.
Yeah, because...
Till 2017.
Yeah, because...
Of the Richard Miller.
No, but what happened, Darren, whilst I was on recall for the Ali Rowe thing,
yeah,
I started taking things and I came out with revengeance.
Yeah.
And I went on a crime spree again.
Yeah.
For about 8 weeks, which I didn't do in 2009, which I didn't do in 2011, which I didn't do, 2012, and then I went absolutely bonkers. And I did that. It gave me 8 years again.
Yeah. What made you so vicious with it that time? What was making you go bonkers?
Because I was thinking you made me lose a nice opportunity.
Yeah.
I was carrying rage and anger and whatnot, and you lot always getting in the way on license, and as a man who was just a thief really, and a bit of a nutter now and again. You had a gun who robbed people and that, but you're not really like a high ranked, successful, masterminded criminal.
Yeah, you're still playing with my life.
When they're talking to me, they're talking to me like I'm some. You knew that, you knew him, how did you get away scot-free on every... you're more concerned with what I'm doing in life.
Yeah.
So I knew where they was coming from with me over the 40 years of institutions, Darren. But no, I fell apart. Again, come back, and I was in High Point until 17. I went mad in there too. I went absolutely bonkers. And then I came out, started doing some bits and pieces, but I wasn't as well as I am now. And, not as true to what my future was going to hold for me. And I got recalled for wearing a Richie Mille watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much was that watch worth?
200 grand.
200 grand, yeah. So obviously you lost the watch because you got the recall with the watch on.
No, they didn't get the watch.
Oh, they didn't.
They thought they were smart. I knew you was coming after I went home. You stayed, I went into probation wearing it.
Yeah.
And then they come back looking for it, for the watch. Don't worry, I caught you slipping that day. You never got the watch though, but you left me in there and I died. But cool, I got back up.
Yeah. So when you think about it, a watch, a bit of jewellery, all of this stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like if you would have been doing a decent job all these years, these things, you could have had these things. It's like you done quick things, got the quick money, lost the quick money, but you can't get back 37 years.
Darren, the sense of belonging, right? From 12, you've got no one in your life. A lot of youngsters, I empathise with them a little bit, because you've got to think when you haven't got anybody and you're growing up, and you start looking in all the wrong places, with all the wrong people, to get that people pleasing where they talk about you, because that's what it boils down to. You know? You don't know where else to belong. You don't know there's another easier path more than that, because I didn't, right? They got more chances now because there's more opportunities for young kids. When I was younger, they didn't have a lot of youth clubs and a lot of creative stuff so that kids can go and do stuff. And for me, the wasted journey and wasted life, I might as well, because I was in the game for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Because I didn't love myself. You do bad things to people that haven't done anything to you. You're trying to show the world that you can earn this and earn that. You're still not satisfied, so you want to kill yourself on a gear. You get in there, you're still not happy that you failed out there, so you run around in there. And then you've got to deal with what they're all dealing with in there, in the local prisons and things, all the gangs. They've all got to go on separate wings now. You go through reception, you've got to tell them where you're from. So immediately, straight away, you're snitching, because you've got to say where you're from. They say, oh, look, you can't go there because they're all over there. So they've got labels now for everyone. But you can't, it's very difficult for a youth of today to go to prison on the first day and the first week and not get harmed just because of where you're from. Yeah. On the first, because what they do now, they've got all wings with everybody's gang all on one, so that they can control it better. Yeah. But then you get the odd little slip ups and that. So you're gonna have to pick up a couple, even without the caddies. You're gonna have to pick up something in the locals, anyway. But the wasted journey. You could have spent all that time studying, doing something, because everybody's got a creative side to them as well. It's the heart that needs mending first, which is what I found with myself. It took me so long because I had that mad energy, good spirit, but I'm obviously with the Holy Spirit now, because I realised that my energy was misplaced, and if it's misplaced in bad stuff and bad people and bad role models, then the conflict is too much for me to bear. And a lot of human beings are like that too. You know, I want you all to just listen carefully. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, you should all become angels overnight, but just think carefully about what you're doing and where you could possibly end up. 10 years, 5 years, 6 years, doesn't seem, you know, 25 years, it seems a long way away when you're on the road. Because every time I come out from prison, I forget that I've been in prison. And when you're in prison, when you're on road, you forget that you've been in prison. Because it leaves you to, you know, even with all the scars and everything, you still think, well, that's not going to happen to me. Everybody thinks it's not going to happen to me. And I've lost count of the amount of kids that say, you won't win, I'll beat him, I'll do this and do. But you've got to have that energy all the way through the sentence so that you keep the dogs at bay. And you've got to remember, where do you learn then? You're not going to be in prison and learn, because your mind's going to be preoccupied with what's going on, which is what's going on around you. Because you know that your family, sadly, has been the rest of everybody on the streets. And I feel it for you lot. And I just want to tell you, obviously, to be really mindful, because it's not as easy as it's easy to push your fingers in someone, but it's not easy to undo it all, you know, as the years go by. Because when there's one, there's another. I remember when the first time I ever did badness, everybody forgot that one. And then you got to do another one, and then it gets worse. Then it becomes the gun, and then it becomes, you know, because you start thinking that, you know, times you've done so much dirt that you begin to think that your time's going to come very soon, because you forget as the years go by. Because there's more, the more serious the stuff, the more you forget about the little ones. But it's the little ones that will come back and haunt you. Trust me.
Okay, yeah. So let's get on to 2018. Yeah. This is your last prison sentence, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
You're in Wandsworth till 2020.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that now. That's where you got paralysed.
Yeah.
You fell off a bunk from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that never had the full support on it that it should have.
Yeah, I woke up one night a bit dozy.
Yeah.
Freakish accident, head first, broke my neck.
Ooh.
Fracture, cervical 3, 4 and 5.
Yeah.
5 months in hospital, saying that it's humanly impossible, that you can't get up from that, you can't walk or use your hands ever again.
So at the early stages of them 5 months, what's going through your head when they're telling you, listen, you're a done deal?
The truth, Darren?
Yeah.
Because I was laughing.
Yeah.
Like I laughed at everything.
Yeah.
I laughed because I was lying there, already spoke to God and the Son.
Yeah.
And they both said to me, don't worry, Sam. I want to see you get out of this one.
Yeah.
And he said it for me, and you know, there's still a few problems, but you know, it's been a famous victory for me. Yeah. Again, through God.
So how long into that was it before you started really putting yourself into getting back?
No, I stood up after 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And then then they put the cuffs on, and then obviously all the drama started in there. My missus was coming every day, and then I took one foot and fell over, then I took another, and then it was like that. Then I went to Stanmore for rehabilitation, and then I went back to prison. And because it's spinal, they had to have me in a disabled cell. But first crawling, then hopping, then stretching, jumping, and then eventually the big ego stuff going on the yard and doing burpees and all that. Yeah. And they were filming me. I done that at the hospital, they're saying no, it's, you know, they're saying genetic makeup of a 30-year-old.
But what's in your head when you're there in the yard doing burpees, and you know that 3-4 months ago you was told that, listen, you're a done deal? What goes through your head? Well,
it storms me on gas. Like, the gas, that's what the kids say, I'm the most gassed up 50-year-old they've ever met. And then I go pelting and trying even more somersaults or whatever. You know, it's mad with me, Darren. But the proof of trying to show myself, you know, living off that glorified name, the great Yammy, right to the end. I had a big battle with them before I got released. All my prison career ended with them refusing to let me out.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So you was released at 9 o'clock in the night.
Yeah, because they were so peed off with me, and obviously they're thinking that I'm better than what I'm making out.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying no, there's still problems like spasms, and which it is, Darren. It's not an easy run for me, of course.
Yeah.
But I look so good that they're thinking, has he won or whatever? Because the hospital was saying that he can't win. You know what I mean? But you know, the will, the determined motivation, the desire, the same way in the Cat A's, the same way to survive, to get what you want and try and get it for nothing, and all those skills over the years, Darren, that he said and they said, the mix up here, you have to draw and all that kind of thing, character to get up off the floor. And that ain't beating me on a one-on-one.
So with regards what you went through with that, you've done 5 months in hospital, you've had to rebuild your body. Is there anything at the end of the road for that? Like, is there something they've got to give you to show, listen, they messed up, the bed weren't steady?
They don't want to, they obviously want to say there's drugs and all that, Darren, so it's a complicated thing, but they're going to have to, because the railings weren't on there.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a whole lot of discrepancies, but whatever they have to do, but it's not going to change my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm with God, Darren. You know,
okay.
That's it.
So let's get on to now. Prison time's done and dusted.
Yeah. Done.
Never going to see those gates again.
No.
We're going to get on to now and the things people want to know about you.
Yeah.
These are the questions that people want to know about you. Obviously, you've already sorted out number 1. Are you ever going back to a cage?
Never, ever.
Never?
No.
Yeah. Alright, so now I want to know, what are you going to do for youths out here to prevent them from going to a cage? Because 37 years, there ain't no one more qualified than you to help them youths.
No, yeah. Well, Darren, that's going to be part of my journey as well, you know, about the other stuff, but I've got a plan for them. If they want to listen and think, we're going to show them, whatever they want to know, I'm going to let them know. The fears, the loss, the love, rejection, the best way to deal with it, coming out the dark into the light. There's another way apart from all that hectic stuff. You know, I'm going to explain it to them properly. I'm going to make sure that I tell them the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
Because I know deep down what they're thinking and feeling and what their fears really are.
Yeah.
You know, because
what places are you going to push yourself into though to get that out there to them? Because remember, you can't just do it by sitting in your house.
No. What I've done the school tour before, but that's the younger.
Yeah.
Like, I went around all London doing that kind of thing, but I might have to branch to community centres.
Yeah.
I might even have to do walk-ins to estates on my own with things. My book's coming out soon, which is called Hopelessly Lost.
Yeah.
And they'll have some great insight into, you know, being their age and what it means to want to be part of something and to go to the Cat A's and, you know, to be involved in that hectic lifestyle that never ever stops.
So the book is your life. You're going to give your life.
My life and my opinion and my account.
Yeah.
On a lot of subjects.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm doing other creative writing a play at the moment, which you're going to hear about.
Yeah.
Obviously I'll get that done in a few months. And obviously there'll be other bits as well, because my talks, I can always go on. You can always come on my page, which is Instagram, which is Sam ENT7, right? And you can listen to my talks, and there are different days, there'll be different topics. You know, you've got to think about the other stuff that I know that goes on, the treatment of girls, the sexual exploitation, because, you know, in our days we had a bit more things around women and all that. It's not the same thing now as young girls are getting quite violated a lot. You've got to come to terms with the, you know, treating women the way that we always did. I know it's hard work sometimes, but, you know, you must never lay your hands on them and make them feel bad about themselves. And that, you know, there'll be other stuff, the bullying that we can touch on. We can touch on what we can touch on your futures, what you're going to gain from my talks, and the awakening of the awareness that I'm going to give you about what you're really doing things for. And where's it getting you with that kind of money? You know, there's so many other ways to get the same money with less stress, without all the problems. But to be, you know, because there's great role models out there. You got CK Flash, you got Paul and Tara Warwick, you got Darren Reynolds, you got other people that have been through these kind of things, or who are sending out a different message to the public every day and trying to make people see that, you know, there's a better life than the ones that were fooled into believing belongs to us as we're growing up, because it's not really how it really was meant to be. I'll tell you that for one. But you're going to hear more about me if you want. You just tune in, and I'll be there. I'll be there for you.
Okay, let's get on to the fact of what was the biggest lesson that you've learned through all them 37 years, back and forth, drugs, burglaries, money, prison cells, fights, stabbings, hot oil poured on people, all these things. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from that journey?
The biggest lesson that I learned is that it was all in aid of nothing. I could have came out of this a long time ago, because everything that I'm seeing now I saw in a different way, but it's the same thing as the eras go by. But it was a wasted journey, because there's nothing really to show at the end of it apart from trying to save people and help people in later life. This is where I'm heading for. But you know, your first sentence, all right, you've been wrapped up in a bit of early stuff in your life so far, and you touched jail once, you touched jail twice. Someone, I know plenty that didn't go back, but you know, you don't want to be committing the same offences. You don't want to be committing no offences at all. And I'm telling you that if it doesn't catch you one way, it will catch you another. You can't do good and bad together. The best thing to do is just change your life before you're going to have to change it anyway, if you live that long, and not take as long as me to change the way that I do things, because you know, you're doing it, we were all wrong, you know, whatever way it looks, and you know, you can't glorify, because people have been hurt along the way, and it's very, very serious. Very, very serious. Very difficult for me to live with certain things, and my skeletons are nowhere near as some as other people's. But it's the history and it's the future. You've got to just close the door very quickly and come out of it, because there's nothing at the end of it. In the end, you just lie there and you think, yeah, I'm on a money thing, I'm on this, I've got to survive, but there's so many different things, and I'll try and awaken the other sides of you, the positivity and the creativity of what do you like doing, and where do you go next after you do things. I wish I would have had a plan as well. When I used to do these things that I've been doing on and off in short periods when I've been outside, I wish I would have had more focus and stayed on the plan. But I jumped off. You go to this side and that side, and you can't mix the two. Once you've got something to do, whether it's staying indoors and writing for a year, or you know, complete the job. You know.
Yeah. 37 years in a cage. You've definitely made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
What was the biggest mistake looking back from 12 years old boy starting the journey in cages? What's the biggest mistake you'd say you've made in that whole of that time?
Oh, the biggest mistake was looking at people that were doing badness and thinking it was the right thing to do. And all along those years, whether it be in prison, bigger criminals who are respected, or my age group when they were growing up who looked slick and doing it, you got taught all the wrong way. So the minute you see somebody shouting, the minute you see someone shooting, the minute you see someone stabbing, go and look at the other side. Go on, there's so many people these days, you've got social media, look at some people what they're doing with their lives on a good thing, and where people have come from the same kind of paths that you're on now, and listen to what they've got to say about it, the real truth, and why it's going to be a wasted journey. Because they used to say the same thing to me, and I used to think, oh, it don't matter anyway, I don't care what happens, you know, because you're there. And the things that I used to place importance on girls, and looking at, oh, that looks nice, this one looks, this and that, you always get disappointed at the end, you know, for that lifestyle. There's always something else afterwards, even if the bracelet, the chain, the car, and blah blah, you're still going to want something different to what you've got, and it's still, everything that you get, you've got by being involved in problems. And it gets worse and worse, because you've got those guys out there that don't like how well you're looking, and they're going to start snaking you. I know, it's a funny old life, and in the end, the pain is much worse than those short moments of what we perceived as pleasure. Like, we make a raise, yes, we made it, we can go spending, we can go, but it's so short-changed to what you're going to get in there, and all the trouble that goes with it, plus you're doing wrong as well. But on my page you're going to see much more of these kind of talks. Today we're just talking about basically my life a little bit, but I'll be motivating you all, I'll be coming for you all. YouTube as well, you've got my channel, It Is What It Is TV, you know, that's coming as well. But you've got to listen to me, and you've got to know where I'm coming from, because I've left there, I know all eras, all age groups, and I'll tell you exactly what it is you need to be thinking about more. I know we're going through sad times, but the loss of life is too bad anyway.
Okay, let's get into another factor of what your life's done. Your life ain't just destroyed your life, it's destroyed others.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the fact you've got a 33-year-old son out there.
Yeah.
And in his lifetime, you've basically done nothing for him.
No, that's true.
What do you feel to that now? And what would you say to him if he was to watch this interview?
I would say that, you know, sorry son, that I never knew. And, you know, I've never been there for you. And, you know, I wish I've seen you now, and I know that you're not happy about certain things, not just with me, but the way that you've come up and everything. And I wish I would have been there to guide you a little bit and to give you the advice that could have made you think different about certain things, but it's never too late. I'm here now, and I'll be making amends, and you know, whatever you need to know, wherever you need a shoulder, whatever, I'll be there. There's nothing more that I could say more than it's what matters now. Everything that's ever happened before, it doesn't. It matters because you've been affected by that, and the people that I've harmed for all those years, especially the people I stole from, the victims that I don't know. I'm sincerely sorry for that. I ask for forgiveness for that, because you wasn't to blame for the early part of my life. I knew the difference between right and wrong, and the pleasure that I gained from stealing your belongings and frightening you with weapons and whatnot. You know, I accept that. You know, it's not the right thing to do, and you know, I have to lie in my bed sometimes and think that very hard to not have known that kind of thing. But no.
See, what it is this: as much as it is your life and you've took the journeys, we do have to see what others will be feeling.
Yeah.
And what the truth of the matter is your son is somewhere out there, and in his heart he's believing to you the drugs, the robberies, the name, the prison cells, the people you've met in there, it all meant more to you than him.
Yeah.
He's got that burning in his heart. Like, how can he get rid of that pain? How will it ever go from him?
Well, I've seen him, and my son's really sensitive as well, and it can be mended, Darren.
Yeah.
Trust me, with the power of God.
Yeah.
And with resilience, when you see that for everything throughout my life, that I still accepted whatever it was. So whether I was wrong, whether I was right, whether I should have done it this way, that one, I wholly accept. But like I said when I was lying there dead, it's still down to me to make it better.
Yeah.
And whatever I need to do for victims of such things, whatever I can do for the youths, whatever way that I can do for my son especially, you know, I'll be there to do what needs to be done.
Yeah. What bridges have you mended so far though? What have you done?
We've made the meet. Come
Yeah.
down whenever you want, you know, speak regularly on the phone, and go from there, pick up the pieces,
Yeah.
and start all over again. Do you think, what, the same way that I got up and I got to go for a run in the morning because of the certain numbnesses on different sides, you still got to get up and you got to do the work.
Yeah.
Otherwise you can't get better. You know, my motto has always been that, you know, once everything's done and dusted, you still got to get up and have another go.
Yeah.
It'd be so easy to say after the first stretch, the second stretch, the third stretch, right, I've had it now, let me call it a day. But you don't.
Yeah.
You don't. Well, you know, you're not meant to. You're still meant to. When as long as you're breathing, you got to have a go.
Yeah.
And the power with your age group as well, the kids, you're miles in front, because what you're putting longevity on, the food game, the gang game, that's all going to run out because you grow out of that. So then you're going to have to do your thing again. But you could do that and plan and go to university and do all that time and still have some nice family life.
Yeah.
And look after and be a positive role model in the community, which leaves you feeling much better about yourself than all the guilty secrets that you've got about who you think you are.
Yeah.
And what you actually are and what you ain't. You know? You can't say that. There's many bad men along the years. Yeah, I did this, I did that. I couldn't believe the way some of them frightened like coward in there.
Yeah.
Some days. And when you're left alone to try and manage on your own, how naked you feel when there's no one there for you, and when you're not being gassed up, when all the bullies are out throwing words at you and that, and you don't know how to react.
Yeah.
Very, very serious game, and that can make or break you.
Yeah.
Yeah, serious, Darren, serious.
So let's talk about the fact people will talk. you've been in contact with a lot of people through your life.
Yeah.
A lot of them are nasty pieces of work. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah.
So the word out here is to ask Yammy B, has he ever snitched on anyone in his whole time on road?
On road, nah. No. Road, I've never had no co-defendants. The one co-defendant that I had was Puss from Junction.
Yeah.
And he grasped me. So I've never had no co-defendants. I've always, apart from the last couple of times, admitted to what I've done.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit of a, it was me kind of geezer.
Yeah.
And once, right, Darren, way back in the day, which was the 90s, I got nicked for a theft outside a Bureau de Change. I grabbed 10 grand and run down the road a bit, got away, and then they come and got me.
Yeah. And
then I said, if you give me bail, I can tell you where this is and that is and that. But obviously, Darren, I don't know no one. Yeah. I ain't never been on road long enough. I don't know no drug dealers like that, where all the food's buried. I don't know where the guns are buried. Yeah. But I told them that. Yeah. And then they give me bail. And then I didn't ring, and then they started slagging me off. Oh, it was an informer. Who's the victims? Come forward if you think or you know that I was ever on road and I grasped you. Yeah. For any question, you went to prison because of me. You come and tell me that. The prison thing, I'm at your door, I'm hot, I'm running around bait and all that. You're telling people, you got spun because of me, and it's Yammy's fault, and this is because I changed sides and got more food over there. Who? Bring the story to the table, tell me what it is, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. All you have to do to me is ask me, I'll take that for you, don't lie. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. So I'll ask you, what do you think people's perception of you is? What do you hope?
There's going to be all variety of things. Some will say that I was the great Yammy B. Some will say that I'm funny, I'm a stand-up comic. Some will say he's a dangerous, nutty geezer. Some will say, but he's a food man, he's a cat, whatever. Say whatever you wanted. You never said that to me. Think about it. When I said you give me 2 of them things, you gave it to me. And when I came the next night and the night after and the morning after, if you didn't give it to me, I went to your enemy across the road and I asked him instead. So tell the truth. I never lied. No one's ever gone to prison because of me, Darren. I lied in a tell. Lie there telling, mate. Load of shit. The prison thing, I was red hot, man. There's got to be feelings about that. But if anything's my fault, you've seen what I showed you there. Over 100 adjudications. 60 of them are not mine.
Yeah.
I'll have that. Yeah, I'll take that for you.
Yeah.
The governor got so fed up that I went in front of him, he tore a bit, he goes, oh, it's not you though. You're just going to do a CC and go back up there. So don't tell me about, which is why I identified with the, I don't even want to say it, it's alright, it's fine, it's cool. I get too carried away. But with God and the Son, this is where I see the similarities of forgiving and feeling sorry for people and taking the rap for people.
Yeah.
You got the wrong geezer, mate. I was just a people pleaser who tell you what you want to hear. And you ain't had no results out of me, mate. I'll put it that way, I'll send you on a wild goose chase if anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Darren? But I will please you if I like you. It's just in my nature, man. I love most of those guys that I ever came into contact with. They all looked after me. And it was a food thing, but I never meant no harm to any of them. Now and again, I pulled out my thing when I had to. When there was nothing else where I could do. I couldn't talk my way out of it. I couldn't duck and dive and that. But I'll tell you one thing you get from me is I'll tell you the truth. Yeah. And anyone that wants to dispute it, I'll bring up the situation, when, where it was, how it was, and what was said, and what you said. Yeah. So don't come and bring anything to me, because I'll tell everybody straight, all right? Because I was there, right? So I'm not no hardcore killer, no big time gangster, and I'm a failed criminal, right? On a bad choice of lifestyle. And bad decision making and believing that this game from a small child is going to last forever, right? But I'm at peace with myself, because when I lie on my bed, all the things that I think I've done, apart from a few that obviously I've got serious regrets, I got to laugh after, because it was the living mix up in there. And it's funny when you analyse it all, you get to see people's real character. Some of them are really confused. They can't manage that kind of heat. The people that I've named you, they can. They can come out on a daily basis, and even if they turn up and it's all on top, they know they're going to lose, they're still turning up. Yeah. And me, Uncle Yammy, I would respect that as an old villain kind of thing. Yeah. That when it's your turn, you got to face the music, right? And it's that, but there's different levels. There's BADMAN, there's BADMAN, and there's thing. And the Cat A's, they got a favourite saying by the shrinks: mad, bad, and sad. Yeah. And they put people into categories. I don't need to tell you what one they told you I was.
Okay, let's get on to this book. A lot of people are coming out of prison. They're doing books. From what I've seen from you, the story's interesting. But you tell us, why should we buy your book? What makes your book one that we want?
Because one, it's sad. Two, it's honest, truthful, to the point, and it touches on the thinking and feeling and the way that my perception was around trying to be a criminal, and the kind of self-obsessed ego with finding things and glorifying at the expense of other people's misery, the sad things that happened to me as a boy, the bad role models, the looking up to people, the going to prison from early, the wars, the dramas, everything that went on throughout all them 30 odd years. I met everybody that was anybody that was ever had to have been met, really, in reality, from all sides of London. I would have come into contact with people that way there. But it touches on what I was really feeling at the time as well. There's no made up stuff in mine. Mine's all the truth, you know. There's times when you're vulnerable and you're weak and whatnot, and highlighting basically, you know, just the wrong career choice, Darren. And how long it's taken for me to finally understand myself, and hoping that people can read it. And then obviously I've got God and the Son in there as well, and faith and the change in my life and that kind of thing that has made a difference as well, that cures the loneliness and the emptiness that a lot of us feel when we're not fulfilled by doing the stuff we've done to get praises from, you know, everybody else but God. You know what I mean? I just identify with the fact that you know, better please God than please all these people that, you know, that I thought would have mattered in the end, and it doesn't really matter. Everybody gets old and everybody just dies down, because I want to die and be in peace.
This is
you know, so I'll just be highlighting on that troubled past, the jails, the jail system, the corruption by the screws in there. You know, there's about 10% of them are bent as well. That's why the system can't run properly as well. They're making the kids feel like it's all right to come there rather than not to come there, you know, like that. You know, there's a lot of things I'm going to touch on there as well, what I've seen. And what else? Yeah, that's it. You're going to hear about, you know, the abuse. You're going to hear about the Queen's pardon. You're going to hear about the Muslim thing. You're going to hear about, you know, all the characters that I've met in jail. You know, what I thought of them individually, or, you know, what I think that, you know, some of them are great men with great talents.
But are you going to give us the real on them characters? Like, if you thought somebody wasn't on it, if you thought they was a pussy or a clown, are you going to let us know that in the book?
Let them know that. I'm going to let you know that I was there.
You saw him get violated.
I saw you get violated, man. So you got, you know, at the end of the day, Darren, man, and I see you hiding behind the curtain. I see you shaking. You know what I mean? I see you hand shaking. Where, you know, it don't matter. It don't matter, Darren. I could suppose talk all that. I probably will talk some of it. But does it really matter? The message to the young ones of today is to basically stay far, man. And don't look at no role models like I did, and the higher up they are, that means that they're better. It doesn't, you know, some of the geezers that I met that were the baddest men, they're absolute lovely geezers though. With kind hearts. I'm not that bad, to be honest, Darren. Good stuff, mate, over the years, some proper stuff.
Let's finish all that prison talk on a good look. Like, let's talk about the fact that I've heard it officially from other characters that shared themselves with you, that at certain prisons, you were the strongest man in your weight. You was winning things in there. Let us know about that. What went down with all that?
Well, I used to be, the powerlifting, obviously, pound for pound, because I still now, innit? Even though I'm coming back now, but the Superstars competition, which is the fitness one, and the strongman pound for pound one. I used to win them every year in every jail there. It got to the stage where they used to take bets on people. And say, listen, if I was on the gear, no one would bet. But if I was clean, everybody would bet on me.
And let us know the names. Who was you up against?
Up against. Or
let us know some of the people that was up against you and you won.
Anyone you could think of, Darren. You're not ready to be on that mad energy level and that natural. Remember, I lived on bread and water, you know, Darren. And that's the God's honest truth. This is why God is involved as well with me. Because I never looked after myself. And I can still do all that. On the football pitch, we had some great times, North versus South. Yeah. Gary used to be number 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it used to make me laugh even. Prison football's funny though. Quincy, all of us, Courtney, Porky, all of us loved all that. Everyone shines bright on that day, but we had too many big egos in one team. It was funny. The London lot always, I don't know what it was, the North used to get the better of us a little bit on the thing side. And there's been many a battle out there as well.
Yeah.
I know. But,
so there is some enjoyment, like you got through it with some enjoyment.
I loved everyone, Darren. I don't really look at things like that, man. If you're upset with me, I know it has something to do with gear. So don't really, it's not the real me, which is why I got, a lot of people kind of looked out for me, but I took the piss as well, Darren.
Yeah.
You know that when you don't care, sometimes it could affect other people, even though you don't mean it.
Yeah.
You see what I mean, with your behaviour. So you've got to hold your hands up for that. So if your name gets called, in a way, even if it's not what they're saying, it's kind of, you weren't moving tidy enough. You got to accept that. Yeah. But over them years, it's a funny time. But it's a very, very, that everybody goes to bed with their own thoughts and that, because you've got to stay in the jungle together for long. Yeah. For long, and it's hard. So
the last thing on you yourself, is there anything you feel that I ain't covered with you in this interview that you want anybody out there to know in any way?
No, Darren. I'm just more of a case with me in later life is obviously I'm talking the father and the son, so I'm moving on. I got my book, I got the play. I'm just picking up the pieces once again. Yeah. And I'm having my final go. And wherever how long it ends for me, I know that I'll be at peace, and I know that wherever it is, hand on heart, I tell the truth. And if the truth's going to affect some people, then you just got to hold that, man, because you and I know what's going on. And like at the end of the day, the facts are what they are. I've got everything that was ever needed to have. I've got all my paperwork of all my sentences, of all the things that have happened. I've got everything logged down. At the end of the day, say what it is, not what you want it to be for you, to how it seems. Yeah. How you really want the world to perceive it, because the idea is for the world to look at me that I was a bloody fool and an idiot. And I did too many wrong things to people, but I move on, and those positive role models like CK Flash and Paul and Tara Warwick and Howard Rose and Darren Reynolds and Austin and all the people that are turning their lives around, and I've done really well in the communities now that they're good people to look up to. I've got them all. I've got them kind of people in my life, not literally, but you learn off them. And you work out in the end what might be good for you, and that's it, Darren. Yeah.
Give us the strongest message in the strongest way that you can for these youths out here to really make them understand it's dead, it's long, it's a waste of your life, and it's a pain for everyone who's around you to be sitting in them jail cells for year on year.
Tell you something, in there it is so shabby, man. They got them 10% of them screws bringing stuff in and then writing negative entries in the book, and then not wearing the badge of honour for the Queen properly. You can't have a system that's like that's preaching one thing, and on the other hand you go there and you're showing everybody the wrong things. But for you lot, trust me, it's a no-go area. It's very, very time consuming. You never get to rest, right? It's very, very dangerous and grotty. You've got to hold on. A lot of people are in there doing their little phones and whatever they're doing and things, because they're holding on to the outside, because they realise they want to. You've got great opportunities than what I had as a kid. You've got the internet, social media. You've got so many other different ways to try and help yourself find another career path in some way. You've got much better choices rather than because I'll tell you what, you might not feel it now at 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19 that somebody's died or whatever. Later on down the line you will, because these same mothers will come on and talk about their losses, and one day it'll be your mothers or your aunties or your uncle, and you had that bond in there and it hurts so bad. It is really bad. You've got to think about my journey and what I saw in prison, and the senseless stabbings, the hot water, the hot fat, the snake in that man's eating with you and not telling you that they're coming for you in the night, but he knows they are. There's no solidarity in certain. A lot of people pretend to be your friends, but they're not. They're not. You got to learn that the hard way as well. The minute you're gone, they start chatting your name and start killing you and thing. But you know, it's no different to what I did. So I don't really get too wrapped up in it all, because I know the propaganda name, I know the scandal thing, I know how to do the mix up, I know how to make somebody look badder than what they really are. If I want to persuade the public that somebody's a certain way, I know how to do that. I was probably the best at it in prison, you know. But it's no way to live. All that energy and all that thoughtfulness during those unnecessary times, it doesn't mean a thing now. It doesn't mean an absolute thing to me. All the things that I held so dear for those 30 odd years, they absolutely mean nothing to me now. And save yourself a wasted journey. Don't guilt wrap yourself, because the more guilt you get and you don't reveal it. That's why I was always of a thing where I reveal, let the stuff out, because once it's left in there, it makes you get too, you know, the conflict's a bit too much, your anger and everything. You've got to come to terms with those feelings that you're getting around certain subjects. And you know, you're going to hear more about me obviously on Instagram. And I'll be talking about prison, role models, you know, the right way, the wrong way, and what it all means in the end when you analyse it all, that he was thinking this and I was thinking that, and that. But in reality, does it really matter if you're concentrating on what you've got to do in your life? There's something different away from all that. Better to go to places where there's peace and harmony, where I surround myself with loads of good people now. I never start acting tough. I never start speaking in different languages. I never belittle no one and that. So, you know, you find it's the same feeling you get of self-esteem. Because for all the people pleasing that I did, we're trying to make friends with everybody and get anything, and if they're in trouble, help them or whatever. You know, you could do it in a positive and a good way and still feel good about yourself. But you're not going to bed feeling guilty. You know, you haven't got no problems. There's nothing to worry about. When I walk down the road now, I'm not interested in who's behind me. You know, it's not. You need to be at peace with yourself before it gets too late. Because the longer it goes on, the more dangerous you get. And I found that with me, from being an innocent little sweet boy when I was younger. As time went on, up until the other day when I was released from Wandsworth, I had to punch the governor and the CM in their mouth before the injuries. You know, in front of everyone. Back in the day, I wouldn't even have done that. You know, I had to knock them both down, because I'm thinking who you're chatting to. You know, as you get older, the more you don't want people to talk to you funny. You know, and I'm leaving that life now, but I'm telling you where it leads to. Things can become more and more serious, because you lose the heart. I want to be able to feel the birds and the butterflies and the river and nature, and I want to hear my missus, what she's saying, without my mind being confused about, yeah, what about him? I wonder what they're doing. Where are they now? You know, like all unnecessary garbage that goes through your head that's not going to matter about tomorrow whatsoever, because there's nothing you can do about the way that you was or the past, but you can do something about your future.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted to think about.
Yeah.
You've got a chance to change it now, because you're at that age where you can make all the difference. You saw a little bit of the gang life, yeah, good. It doesn't mean that you want to be in 5-10 years at a time then jumping off and saying, yeah, I did the gang thing and this is how it was. And like, you want to jump off after the first year and say, well, I was involved a little bit, but I saw it early and I jumped off and I realised that it was the wrong thing, the wrong way to go.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to end up like people like me and many, many others that wish they wouldn't have followed that path.
So I'm going to ask you this. You've done 37 in a jail cell. You know what it's like. You've done the road, you know what that's like. You've been around gunmen, knife men, murderers, all of that. At the end of the day, should we look up to you? Should we look up to any bad man who's sitting in a jail cell doing 20, 30, 40 years, but he busts his gun and swung his knife?
Nah, all of them will tell you as well the same thing, that nah, it's nothing. Once they get the burden, they've been there for a little while. But let me tell you something, you can't boast about such things. I used to love to make up stories, yeah, all right, I robbed a few people with a gun, but I ain't shot no one or nothing like that, and I'm glad now. But I would have wanted to, because I was that kind of character. If I'd have been in the wrong hands, I would have pulled it willingly, as long as it made them love me or think highly of me. So I know what that feels like, but it is a complete waste of time, because the only thing that can come out of it is negative stuff, and you have to end up in there. Someone's got to lose their life. There's going to be people crying day and night people that never get over the fact that they can't see their kid again, and that it's very sad for them these days. Because in the old days, someone would die once a year, you know, on the odd little fight outside a pub or something like that, or now and again someone gets shot, and that. But these days, it's the attitude towards, you know, the simplest and smallest thing that he said this about me, let me kill him. Come on, man, you got to think, and the things that come after those things. You know, because remember the difference between fear and love I touched on earlier. It might be all them around you, they're scared that because they know that you'll go to the ends of the earth to be the wickedest man there is, but they don't love you really. They fear you, and there's a big difference. You want people to love you, and if they love you, that means they want you. That means that they don't feel fear in front of you. That means that they like being in your presence. There's nothing bad about it at all. It's the same thing, but it's just less for the conscience to deal with, and an easier solution to what you're going to have to go through.
Okay, so let us know, is there anyone you'd like to shout out, anyone you'd like to give a word to at the end of this interview?
Yeah. I'd like to shout out all my boys that, as far as I can basically remember, the ones that I was close to. I'll talk about some already, like Carl Dennis Porky, Courtney Needham. I'll talk about Quincy, for whatever he thinks, you know, that thing is still my boy at the end of the day. Austin, my boy, Darren Reynolds, yeah, CK Flash, yeah, Tara and Paul Warwick, my boy, my proper family now, and there's many more. Bucky, who was really close to me, who was honest as they come, and I want to see you soon, Bucky. I did love you, boy. That program on Channel 4, I saw it while I was away. Great profiling thing, you know, some of my stuff there that's going to come out with that kind of study there as well. Then Carla Dredd, Kim, unfortunately, you know, my son Dario, Rocco Stembo, yeah, Holy Man still, Tony Archie, yeah, heavy. Martin Valentine, yeah. Some proper good people that I met along the way. There's probably loads more, but you know, I think those are the ones that, you know, stand out for what I saw in the Cays, and obviously, you know, big up to Gary as well, you know.
Yeah.
Because one mustn't forget. I'll be in touch with him soon. I'm going to make sure he gets my book first, but that's another story anyway. Gary would be pleased like that, because he used to try and advise me that there was other things from the early days as well that a man could do. So yeah, that as well. But I'm out of the game now, folks. So, you know, if you're coming on a God Talk, then come and talk to me. If you want to know about the reasons why not to go back to prison, come and talk to me. If you want the truth about violence, come and talk to me. I'll tell you what to do. If you want to talk about love and the things you felt about loss and rejection and having no one around you and making families out of strangers and stuff like that, come to me. I'll tell you what it is. If you want to know about attitude and your attitude to things when they're not going wrong for you or right for you or whatever, in whatever aspect, the difference of coming out the dark into the lightness and the empowerment, and whenever you're dead and buried and they say you can't do this, and it's what they say. It's like I said to you earlier on, everything revolves around what they said, that he said, that was that, and that was that. But hold on a minute, ain't I got to say in this? Because I'm saying, no, it's that, and it's that, and it's that, and I can produce the facts. Like I can produce the facts to the experts in hospital that swore blind that they've never seen nothing humanly possible about that spinal, cervical 3, 4 and 5 that you can't humanly, because that's what I say to that. I said, that's what you say. That's not what I say. So the mix-ups and all that, they said, he said, and they said, come, you bring that too, because I got the facts. So whatever way you want to talk about it, anything, you come and talk to me, and I'll let you know the absolute truth. Because it's been a wasted journey for me, a very hurt one, that now to realise that I could have done it all so different to what I'm going to do now. How could I not have known that 2% of me that was different, the emptiness, the loneliness, nobody there, and, you know, looking in all the wrong places for a great feeling, when really in the end you walk home and you're sad. You know, it's so sad. And then you work out one day that the thing that's wrong with me is that bit there, and then you mend it. And all of us have that in us, but some don't have to wait as long as I did, and many of those, you know, the so-called great ones that I talked about, they know now too, trust me. And if they were honest, which I've been honest with them, and I've sat down with them on heart to hearts, and I know the truth.
Okay, big up to Yammy B for sitting down with the artist and giving the world his realness. Big up to the man who set this interview up. He knows who he is. Nothing but respect. And big up to all the young youths out there. Listen to what the man said. 37 years in jail. It don't get much deeper than that. If you can't hear these words, then I don't know what I can say to you. Look after your families and be real with them, because they're the ones who really care. 1.